Hi QA folks, welcome back to my channel. Today I've picked up an interesting topic. Let's talk about what really matters in an SDET interview. After interviewing more than 100 candidates across 5 plus organizations, here's what actually matters. Usually people think it's all about Selenium and coding, but that's not actually true. Let's deep dive. This is purely based on my 11 plus years of experience in the QA industry and interviewing more than 100 plus candidates across 5 plus organizations. Let's pick our first item, that is programming skills. It closely matters around 40% in the interview. Be it Java, Python, JavaScript, does not matter. Typically, an interviewer looks at these skills in a candidate, be it logical thinking, problem solving, debugging skills, basic OOPS concepts, ability to write clean code, and the candidate should be able to understand the existing framework and make modifications. So these are the primary skills the interviewer typically looks at. I know these skills, it is very difficult to develop these skills overnight. So what I suggest is set some time apart, pick any programming language which you are comfortable with, start practicing. So before that, learn some basics, learn OOPS concepts, go through the theory, then start writing programs, because once you write programs you'll actually understand how to solve, using logical thinking, etc. But this will play a major role if you want to clear any estate interview in the industry. The next item is automation tool. Be it Selenium, Playwright, Cucumber, REST Azure, doesn't matter. So what interviewer looks at is how well have you understood the framework design concepts? How good are you, okay, in terms of hands-on using your current framework in your company? Not just by having certain built-in functions and expecting to clear the interview. I know, okay, a lot of people, a lot of you guys, are actually trying to transition from a manual QA to automation QA. For you guys, you might not have any hands-on experience. But what I suggest is pick up a pilot project, okay, pick up any test website, try to build a framework from scratch, okay, so you understand all the framework concepts, okay, and try to automate that, maybe so just jot down a test case using a test website, try to automate that test case end to end using your own built-in framework. So this actually gives you a lot of hands-on, okay, in understanding how a framework works, okay, and debugging skills, and how well you can optimize the framework. So all these skills matter, because I've seen candidates just mentioning that they have experience in Selenium or Playwright, but when you go deep, okay, in questioning, they just cannot answer a lot of these questions. The next item is testing fundamentals. This is where true testers stand out. Interviewers usually look for the basics of understanding of SDLC, defect life cycle, test design and coverage, different types of testing, etc. Recently, I'm noticing a trend where candidates are very good in programming, understanding the tools, usage of tools, etc., but they fail to think like a QA. The main purpose and goal of a QA is to find bugs early in the life cycle. If you are excellent in programming but you fail to find bugs in your application, then you are as good as nothing, right? Because as a QA, our goal is to make sure the product is quality. Whether the strategy is manual or automation doesn't matter. That's why I suggest focus on building your fundamentals as a QA, because that will actually help you go long in your career. As a QA, communication skills play a vital role, because we need to be able to communicate properly when we find any bugs, or we should be able to push back the bad requirements, or if you have to justify certain test decisions. As you grow up the ladder as a QA, communication skills become very important, be it to guide your junior QAs in the right path or to take broader organizational QA decisions. So, all these things mainly depend on how well you can communicate. So, if you want to improve, I suggest pick a topic, stand in front of mirror, talk like a professional. The more you practice, right, you will actually find right words to use at right time, and may be able to communicate very effectively. The final differentiator is the passion which you show to be a QA. Usually, interviewers notice the curiosity to learn, okay, or your willingness to take the responsibility. In my 11 plus years of experience as a QA, I've noticed that usually we QAs are under time crunch in a product life cycle. So during that time, be that QA who actually owns, some part of the work and takes ownership and drives the product, to be a quality product through passion. So that's what actually stands you out from other average QAs. Moving forward, if you are in the range of experience from 1 to 3 years, what actually matters is your strong basics as a QA, and you should be able to write stable automation scripts and understand the QA fundamentals. And as you proceed from 4 to 7 years of experience, what actually matters is you picking up the framework ownership and mentoring juniors, handling flaky tests, and you should be able to now contribute to CI/CD integrations. And as you grow older, once you cross 8 to 9 years of experience, right, what actually matters is how well are you able to put out the test strategy, leading the QA teams, and defining the quality metrics or influencing the product engineering decisions. So all this matters as you grow up the ladder. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope this shall drive you to clear your next SDET interview. For such similar content, please follow my page and keep waiting for the upcoming videos. Thank you so much.